Welcome back to the channel. From Burrito ban to brilliant comeback, Shelby Houlihan's journey to redemption. Tokyo, AP. For stretches of her 4 long years in running purgatory, the poster child for a drug-fighting system in sports that nobody truly understands was as likely to be seen driving her 71 VW minibus across the country as working out on the track. America's reigning 5,000-meter champion, Shelby Houlihan, used what is now known, infamously, as her Burrito ban to scratch some things off her bucket list. She bought the burgundy bus, sight unseen, and logged an estimated 6,000 miles on a tour of America that wasn't possible when she was training. "I thought I didn't have running to hold me back," Houlihan said. "I've got to go do some fun things." Now that her ban is expired, fun means rediscovering the purpose for all those miles she's piled up, not in the minibus, but over 4 years of running just to run. Houlihan was entered in the 5,000 meters at World Championships in Japan's National Stadium, the place she was denied a chance to compete 4 years ago in the wake of a polarizing doping ban that took away not 1, but 2 Olympics. This will be her first major outdoor track meet since she finished 4th in the 1,500 in Doha at the 2019 Worlds. "Most people believe your prime is like 27 to 30 or 31, and those are the years that I missed," said the 32-year-old Iowa native who lives out of a camper with her boyfriend, 2 dogs, and a cat in Flagstaff, Arizona. "I can't do anything to get those back," she said. "Part of me wonders what I could have done. But that's a rabbit hole I don't need to go down. I knew I didn't cheat." Houlihan says she shifts between trying to shine a light on a system she says ultimately betrayed her and going about the business of making up for lost time. She said she blindly believed in the global anti-doping system because, as she put it, "I knew I didn't cheat." Then, it turned drastically and dramatically against her. 4 years after she made news of the ban public on the eve of the 2021 Olympic trials, there remain some who saw Houlihan improve drastically in the late 2010s and never believe her alibi for testing positive for a performance enhancer, that she ingested it by eating a drug-tainted pork burrito bought from a food truck. Among those who did, however, were the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, which tested her 53 times between 2017 and 2021 without turning up a positive. USADA has passed on a number of similar contamination cases over the years, and the subject has become even more fraught in the years since Houlihan's case erupted. The World Anti-Doping Agency's handling of a case involving Chinese swimmers in the lead-up to the Paris Olympics brought recriminations about the differing ways drug-fighting agencies choose to handle cases steeped in the complex science of contamination. Houlihan's case was taken up not by USADA but by the Athletics Integrity Unit, the agency formed to help world athletics police doping, and it offered her no bailout. It also offered her no consideration for the fact that rules concerning contamination had been relaxed to account for recent improvements of lab equipment to detect the most scant traces of banned substances. Houlihan's return to the big time comes less than a week after the Court of Arbitration for Sport upheld a contamination ban levied against U.S. sprinter Ariane Knighton, a case in which USADA believed Knighton's excuse, but the AIU appealed. "If they follow up on something, there's probably a really good reason why they're doing it," World Athletics President Seb Coe said when asked about how different agencies handle contamination cases differently. "They don't leave a lot to chance." Houlihan said it didn't take long to recognize the losing battle she was up against, even if she wasn't ready to accept it. "When the ban first happened, there was this fire and stubbornness and a screw them, I'm going to break records anyway, I don't care if they count," Houlihan said. "That ended up being so much harder than I anticipated. I'm not really fueled well by anger. Running just to run." Even so, Houlihan kept running, even when she wasn't sure why. Her training alongside her peers on the circuit was all but shut off because of the ban. So, Houlihan went to local running clubs, met new people, tried to make connections that had once been there because of her day job but had since vanished. Her contract with Nike vanished. There wasn't any actual phone call. "I just sort of stopped getting paid," she said, and so, to make ends meet, Houlihan slept on couches, did some house-sitting and took care of cats. Tokyo, AP. 4 years after her infamous burrito ban sidelined her from competition, American distance runner Shelby Houlihan is back on the world stage, chasing redemption at the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. Houlihan, now 32, is entered in the 5,000 meters at Japan's National Stadium, the same venue where she was denied the chance to compete during her suspension. The Iowa native, who trains in Flagstaff, Arizona, had been one of Team USA's brightest stars before testing positive in 2021 for a banned substance she insists came from a tainted pork burrito. "I knew I didn't cheat," Houlihan said, reflecting on the years she spent away from professional racing. But I also knew I couldn't win that fight. During her time away, Houlihan traded track workouts for adventures on the open road, logging nearly 6,000 miles in a vintage 1971 VW minibus. She took odd jobs, lived out of a camper with her boyfriend and pets, and kept running, often without a finish line in sight. But her passion for competition never faded. She returned with a silver medal in the 3,000 meters at the 2024 World Indoor Championships, proving the 4-year layoff hadn't erased her talent. Still, Houlihan admits losing what many consider prime athletic years stings. Most people peak between 27 and 30, she said. Those are the years I lost. I can't get them back. Houlihan now competes with added caution. She avoids supplements entirely, freezes her meat until drug tests clear, and takes every precaution to ensure her return isn't marred by another controversy. For Houlihan, this week in Tokyo marks more than just a comeback. It's about reclaiming the joy of racing, where the miles truly count and medals are once again within reach. Now that she's back in the game, she finds herself thinking about performance enhancers in ways that hadn't occurred to her before. I don't take supplements anymore. I drink Pedialyte and that's about it, she said. The meat I eat, I freeze it just in case I get tested. And if I do get tested, that meat will sit in the freezer until I hear it's a clean test. It's not the way I like to live, but it's the way I have to at this point. It's the price to pay to bring her race back onto tracks where the times really count and there are medals on the line. She won a silver in the 3,000 meters at Indoor Worlds last March, a sign that the 4 years scratching items off her bucket list hadn't robbed her of everything. If you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more college football coverage every week. Welcome to the channel family, and thank you for being here. See you in the next one.